We talked about this last week. Never a slow news week. There is always something to make us laugh, make us so angry, make us disgusted. I mean, it runs the whole gamut, and we're always disappointed to not be disappointed. No, that sounded like a Kamala-ism right there.
That was
I don't
about
even
as
know what
close
that was.
that was about as close to legitimate word salad as you have ever become.
Yes, it's happening. It's happening, guys. Everybody has warned me that this might happen, that I might morph into her by accident. And I think you all just witnessed that moment. Be scared. Be scared.
Yeah, when you immerse yourself into a role, you know.
Yeah. Yes. That's what happens. That's what
Method
happens,
acting.
man.
That's what it is. It's method acting.
Yes. Yes. That's that. I like that. That is the case. And as you well know, my other favorite acting, my performance, skit, whatever, is of course to play Joe Biden's handler. And what a surprise. Joe has given us another another skit-worthy performance all on his own. I mean, you would think his behavior is a skit all of its own. But yeah, I mean, the title says it all. Who doesn't know? Who doesn't know at this point that Joe said his Uncle Bozy was probably eaten by cannibals for real, as Joe would say, or Joe did say.
Yeah, so the story is his uncle was a pilot. This is the way he told it. His uncle was a pilot,
Right.
and there was a mission that nobody else could fly, and his uncle volunteered for it, and then he got shot down near New Guinea, and there's cannibals there, and did he say it directly, or did he just kind of like imply that that's what happened?
I have his direct quote. He said,
Okay.
"Do you want me to mumble it like him?"
No,
I won't.
please,
No,
Lord.
right? It'll take too long. You'll be here for
Yeah.
an hour just trying to get the sentence out. So he said, quote unquote, he got shot down in an area where there were a lot of cannibals at the time. They never recovered his body. But oh no, wait, oh no, that's after. Oh no, did he add it? Yeah, no, he says they never recovered his body, but the government went back when I went down there and they checked and found some parts of the plane. So he's implying. He's implying. He didn't directly say cannibals ate Uncle Bozy.
Okay, so
I know I shouldn't laugh.
yeah.
But.
So there's for a lot of people that don't know, it's one of the most admirable things that our military continues to do. There is an organization based out of Hawaii that used to be called JTF Full Accounting. It's now the Joint POW-MIA Command. There's a new name for it, but that's what they do. Is they and focus mostly in the Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia region for recovery of remains of missing Americans. Right now, they do things.
Okay.
They've recovered aircraft buried in the mountains that were part of the Flying Tigers. They have Philippines, and they have done Korea and some other things here and there, but mostly in the Vietnam era. Geographically, that's where they've spent most of their time. They have extensive capabilities. DNA, they recover remains, they test them. I have a friend who worked there for 3 or 4 years, and so I'm kind of familiar with how they do business. What they do have, and the military has come out and said this, is records of Uncle Bozy and his flight. Okay, he was a passenger on a plane that, for unknown reasons, went down in the water. Not on land, crashed into the ocean, and I think there was maybe one survivor, right? That's it. They know he crashed, they know he died, they know he's at the bottom of the ocean. They know exactly what happened. And listen, families sensationalize things for a lot of reasons. I understand.
Sure.
It makes it more interesting if Uncle Bozy was, a fighter pilot and got shot down, and I get it. However, he was a congressman. He was the vice president. He has had access to all of this, said it himself. They found part of the wreckage when I was down there. whatever that means. So he's made a claim that he knows, there's evidence of this, and this is a true story, which clearly it's not. So he's either lying about Uncle Bozy flatly, or he's lying about what the military told him. But either way, it continues along the same path of him just lying. He's just lying. He lies all the time.
So what you're saying to me is that Joe Biden told a story that's not true. This is shocking to me. Y'all know how sarcastic I am. That was obvious sarcasm.
And what did I always murder her name, Jean-Claude Van Damme, she covered it up again.
Right.
He was having an emotional moment.
Yes.
That's what she said. He was having, he was trying to relate as only the president can, and he was having an shut up. I am sick of her garbage. She is and this is saying a lot. She is the most condescending White House press person in ever that I can ever remember. And there's been a lot. I mean, some of Trump's folks true to as well. Like there's been some really condescending SOBs standing at that podium. She is by far the worst. She thinks we're all idiots and that we're going to fall for and believe whatever comes out of her mouth. It just continues to be the same crap, and they're just covering up his complete inadequacy. It's bad. He's talking about cannibals, for crying out loud. This isn't corn pop. This isn't a kid at the pool that he got in a fight with, or him driving a bus or a semi, or riding a train and talking to a conductor. The guy's talking about an uncle being eaten by cannibals, and they're going, it's an emotional.
It's just emotion. It's just very emotional for him. It just makes your head explode a little bit, doesn't it? Like, who's buying this? Who's buying this? And we know there's people buying it. How do we know? I posted a video. Oh, I can show you that video. We talked about the handler video. Did I cue it up here? I did. So here is, of course, me as the handler handling this situation. Okay. Joe, sir, I need you to not say anything crazy today, okay? You're not helping us. We're doing the best we can here, and you're not helping. So just read what it says on the teleprompter, okay? Can you do that for me? Okay, awesome. You go get him, sir. What is he going to say today? I mean,
Uncle Bozy was a hell of an athlete. They told me when he was a kid. And he became an Army Air Corps before the Air Force came along. He flew those single-engine planes as reconnaissance over war zones. He got shot down in New Guinea. And they never found the body because there were a lot of cannibals for real. There were a lot of cannibals for real in that part of New Guinea.
Did he just say cannibals? I mean, so you know darn well that's how his people, his handlers are reacting to everything that he says. They have to be just like ripping their hair out. And of course, by the way, what prompted me to even share that is we were talking about people believing this and not. And of course, like 20 people, I think I'm exaggerating, jumped into the comments. There were cannibals then. There were cannibals. Okay. Do you think Uncle Bozy got eaten by the cannibals? Okay, fine. We'll go with that. Sure. Why not? Why not? I mean, of all of the craziness that goes on with this administration and the things that they say and do, let's just go with the cannibals. Let's just go with it.
It's fine. Cannibals are fine.
It's all good.
It's as plausible as any of the other shit that comes out of that place.
Absolutely.
You might as well.
As well. Yeah. I'm feeling good about it.
Yeah.
Oh,
and again, it's just glossed over.
Right.
Right. I get it. The conservative media and, it's been all over the socials. There's memes everywhere. I've seen, Uncle Bozy's cannibal barbecue sauce ads and all kinds of stuff.
So many ways that you can run with that. And I love that people do, there's gotta be, I haven't even seen them yet, but I'm sure there's gotta be like memes and GIFs and all of the things.
Everybody just continues to nod along. You know, they're
Right.
cringing in private, just like you said, just like your handler. They're
Mhm.
cringing in private, but on the outside, nobody is coming out and saying this is a bad thing, except for Bill Maher, which is crazy.
Yes.
Along with a few others. But, for the most part, everybody's just nodding along. Yeah,
Yeah.
cannibals. You heard the
Yeah,
boss. Cannibals.
yeah.
It's reprehensible. I know we keep harping on this, but he keeps giving us material. Like, this is a
Oh,
never-ending
yeah.
story.
Yeah, this is just yet another, example of what is at the helm of this ship. And it is so bad, and people, and I'm telling you, I can't even take it how many times these, never Trumpers, who don't care about anything other than never Trump, are just hanging on like rabid dogs to, what little bit of falsehoods that they have been fed, and they just keep regurgitating it. Best economy we've ever had. It's, where it's the, oh really, this is, I mean, I kid you not, they literally say this in the comments, and I don't even respond anymore. I haven't responded to those types of comments in ages, because it's like, if you put like I don't know, a bloodied hand in the water and of piranhas, and they just go on the attack and they just shred them to pieces. Or like, really, explain that, tell us how. And they list everything, and I'm like, yeah, I can just sit back and relax and not even have to respond. But
yeah, it is. It's just more of the same. We responsibly, I think, can't ignore it as much as it's become the norm and repetitive.
right.
But you can't just say, oh, because that's the trap that they're asking you to fall into.
Yeah.
The trap they want you to fall into is just be like, oh, well, that's him. He just did it again.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. They want you to just go, silly Joe.
Yeah.
Never mind that. Don't worry. He's
He's an old man.
just fun. Yeah.
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 And then brush it off and then not
Right.
worry about it. That's
Yep.
what they're really wanting everybody to do. Can't do it. Won't do
And
it.
their tactic is somewhat brilliant and somewhat effective, or I guess maybe quite a bit effective, because at least they just keep moving along. They just keep chugging along, and just right past it, steamroll right past it. Same with Kamala. She says something absolutely absurd and nonsensical, and really condescending to people. Speaking of condescending, and again, we can always go back and forth with her manner of speaking, besides the whole word salad part, and say, she is either speaking to everyone as if they are dumb children, or she is the dumb child that cannot speak above that level, and it's maybe a combination of both. I don't really know, to be honest with you. But no matter what, it is daily slaps in the faces to the intelligence of the American people. And, and I think the general population is sitting here going, are you kidding me? Who sees this?
It's still 40+%, 42%, 44%, whatever it is, are going to vote for him again.
Right.
Absolutely baffling.
Yeah.
Absolutely baffling.
Now, maybe you've seen the numbers. I see all different numbers floating around, and I never really trust the polls and stuff like that, all that, because it always depends on who you're asking. If you go into a liberal area, of course it's going to be skewed. That's going to be the majority of the voters. So I don't know. But do you feel that the majority, or at least a large percent of those people that are going to vote for him, are they just never Trumpers? Because I can't fathom people genuinely voting for Biden. They're voting, they have to be voting against Trump, right?
And party. Just,
and party.
Yes,
true.
And because it's the party, not the president, in a lot of cases on the hardcore issues, we talk about, but we've talked about, they're hard dividers, right? And the two big ones are abortion and guns.
Right.
Those two things, people will stay, no matter who the candidate is, they will stay with their party, because they know their party is going to stay in the direction that they support, and there is a correlation in general between the pro-gun, pro-life and choice, anti-2A, those two, kind of run together. So, one's Democrat, one's Republican, and people will vote party just to vote party. It's got less to do with Trump and Biden and more to do with those specifically two issues.
Yeah, that's a great point, and I think really, really accurate because and if you need any proof for that, Gavin Newsom just put out the most absurd. I'll put it on here.
We're gonna make it.
Trump Republicans want to criminalize young Alabama women who travel for reproductive care.
Miss, I'm going to need you to step out of the vehicle, take a pregnancy test.
Stop them by taking action at righttotravel.org. Campaign for Democracy Group is responsible for the content of this advertising.
It's crazier than fiction. Like, you can't make that up.
That's some Brave New World 1984,
Right.
like absolute, to the nth degree craziness. And unfortunately, people will believe it.
Yeah. Oh, there's 100% people who have watched that ad and they're going, oh, Trump's going to arrest everyone as they cross the borders and make them take pregnancy tests.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's insanity.
Lunatics.
But I guess changing topics, but we